On Christmas morning, my mom sold my car, laptop, and iPhone for my sister's med school, then told me to sign an $18,000 loan. I walked out and left a letter that left them panicking. So, it's Christmas morning, right? I'm still in bed, barely awake, when I get this text from my mom. It starts all friendly with a Merry Christmas, but then bam, it hits me like a ton of bricks. Be grateful we kept your furniture, she says, right before listing how they sold my car, laptop, and iPhone. All to help my sister with med school. I'm sitting there, half in disbelief, hands trembling, thinking it must be some kind of joke. But nope, it wasn't. A few moments later, another text pops up, sign the loan form. $18,000 by Monday. Just a short, blunt command with no explanation at all. It's like they think taking everything I own is no big deal. I'm stunned, just sitting on my bed staring at the empty space where my laptop used to be, the charger still dangling in the outlet like a cruel punchline. I finally muster up the strength to reply, not happening. 5 seconds later, she fires back with another text, then pack your stuff, you're done here. And that was it. No phone call, no heart-to-heart, nothing. Just a cold message, like I was getting fired from my job as their family member. So, I took my time, didn't cry or make a scene, just packed what was left of my life and walked out. Didn't even bother waiting for dinner. By 2 p.m., my room was cleared out, looking as empty and cold as the way they'd left my life. I clicked the front door shut like I was announcing my final exit. I left a letter on the kitchen table, didn't bother sticking it on the fridge or texting anyone about it. Just left it there, snug between the salt and pepper shakers, as a little parting gift. The next morning, my phone exploded with calls and messages. Dad was freaking out, my sister was in panic mode, asking about the letter because she had exams coming up. Even my mom broke her silence, demanding I call her because Dad was livid. But I stayed silent, letting them stew in their own choices while I kept my distance. See, I used to think that being quiet and helpful was the way to go, that if things went wrong, it was somehow my fault for not setting boundaries. But my family? They don't do boundaries. They're all about debt, guilt, and control, but never about respecting limits. After the Christmas fiasco, I crashed at a friend's place, trying to wrap my head around everything. My phone, laptop, car, all gone, not taken by some random thief, but by my own family, without a hint of remorse. They thought I'd crumble, beg to come back. But I didn't. I remembered all the times I supported them. Like when I paid the internet bill while surviving on ramen in college. Or when I gave my old MacBook to my sister for her med school prep, only for her to trash it and brag with a new iPad a week later. I even sent my mom money for dental work, then saw her flaunting new gold earrings online. And don't get me started on covering Dad's credit card debt, only to hear from Uncle how he sorted it like a champ. I was never family, I was just their go-to for cash. After I refused their loan demand, the backlash was immediate. Mom blocked me on Viber, my sister threw shade on Instagram, and my aunt chimed in the family group chat about how I was always overreacting. I didn't reply, just took screenshots of everything. Checked my bank and, surprise, $620 was gone, used by my family for shared subscriptions. Turns out, my iPhone wasn't sold off. Nope, it was reset and handed to my cousin Leo, who even posted a selfie with it, all proud. Then, the mistake happened. My sister accidentally sent a voice message in the family group, spilling their plans about forging my signature. It was meant for a different convo but landed right where I needed it. I saved the audio before she could delete it, proof that their betrayal wasn't just some passive oversight but an active choice to cut me deeper. So, there I was, staring at my computer screen, totally speechless. My heart was steady, but my jaw was clenched tight. I had just discovered something huge. It wasn't about money anymore, it was a full-on conspiracy, with fraud and people laughing behind my back. That night, Emma, my oldest friend, messaged me. Emma's always been the quiet one around my family, which now made sense because she had been noticing things way before I did. She sent me a screenshot of a chat between my sister and her friend. They were saying stuff like, "Alex is so gullible. He'll give us more money if Mom just sheds a few tears. He still believes I'm in med school. I just want to leave this country on his dime. He's basically an ATM with Wi-Fi." Then Emma added, "I didn't want to get involved, but you need to know who she really is. Also, I've always cared. You deserve better." I stared at Emma's message for longer than I'd like to admit and replied, "You've given me more than they ever did." And then, the final blow came when I found out about Noah, my supposed best friend, the guy who let me crash at his place after I left home. While he went out to get food, He left his laptop open. I wasn't snooping, but I noticed his messenger tab was active. It was my sister texting him. She wrote, "He suspects nothing. Once he signs, we'll handle the rest. You'll still get 30%. He's lucky we even left him the furniture." Noah replied, "He won't even see it coming." I didn't lose my cool, didn't shout, I just started collecting evidence. I created a folder called Family Fraud and set up a hidden camera and voice recorder in the room. Later, when Noah made a call, I recorded it. He was saying, "Yeah, he's here, everything's chill. He still thinks I'm on his side. Tomorrow, we'll slip the papers in and make it look routine. He'll sign, he always does." I just sat on the bed, listening, recording, not angry or crushed, just done with it all. That night, I didn't sleep. I spent the time archiving and organizing everything: screenshots, voice memos, chat logs, bank transactions. I made 3 backup copies, one on a hard drive, one in the cloud, and one ready to be sent off. Then, I opened a blank document and wrote a single line: "You wanted a doctor in the family, you got a surgeon." This wasn't revenge, it was prepping for a major cutoff. Then, Friday at 7:12 p.m., my mom texted me. "It's my birthday tomorrow. Just a quiet dinner. Come by. Your sister will be there. She wants to talk." It seemed like an olive branch, but I smelled a trap. I didn't respond right away, but eventually, I said, "Yes." This time, I wasn't coming empty-handed. I brought a flash drive, printed documents, a lawyer, and a silence colder than revenge. Saturday evening, at their house, the table was set with napkins folded way too neatly. My mom looked like she was forcing a smile, my dad attacked his salad like it had done him wrong, my sister was fidgeting with her phone, and Noah sat there all calm and fake. "We've all made mistakes," my mom said, trying to smooth things over. "But this is family. Let's not turn it into a big deal." My sister mumbled, "He can't prove anything anyway." That's when I reached into my bag and placed the flash drive on the table, looked them straight in the eye, and hit play. My sister's voice filled the room, plotting the whole scheme with Noah. "Tell Noah to bring the papers. I'll sign for Alex. He never reads anything. His password's still the same." I checked. "God, Mom, he's such a fool." No one said a word. I laid out more proof: screenshots, Instagram DMs calling me an ATM, a listing of my car online with the same license plate and scratch. I even showed a chat between Noah and my sister about splitting 70-30, saying I was clueless. My mom accused me of fabricating everything, and my sister screamed. I calmly picked up the recorder and played Noah's voice again, going over their plan. My mom started shaking, and my dad tapped the table furiously. Noah just got up and left without a word. I wasn't finished. "You thought I'd stay quiet and just take it like always, but not this time." I nodded toward the doorway as a man in a suit entered, carrying a folder. "This is Mr. Iran from Varco and White. He has something to say." Mr. Iran adjusted his glasses and addressed them calmly, detailing how a loan for $18,000 was fraudulently taken out in my name with all the proof to back it up: audio recordings, digital traces, and handwriting analysis. "This is forgery and financial fraud. If it continues, we press charges." My dad looked bewildered. "What did you do?" I just stayed silent, knowing it was finally the end of the line for their schemes. So, there we were, in the middle of this crazy family drama. My sister was all fired up, basically accusing me of dragging lawyers into our family mess just for payback. All I wanted was to focus on my studies, but my mom wasn't having any of it. She started yelling, blaming Emma for the whole situation while pointing aggressively at her as she stood hesitantly in the doorway. But I kept my cool. Didn't yell, didn't even twitch. I just reached into my pocket, pulled out a set of keys, and tossed them onto the table. "I'm done paying for your silence," I announced. "I'm not part of this house anymore. Maybe I never was." Then I pulled out the ultimate game changer, a photo of a notarized document. It was the real deal. I was legally renouncing any claim to my family's inheritance, assets, and all that jazz. Emma walked up beside me, and together we walked right out of that door. No one even tried to stop us. Outside, the night air was crisp and fresh, and I took a deep breath like I hadn't in forever. Emma turned to me and asked, "What now?" I just grinned and said, "Now they get to face the truth on their own." For the first time in my life, I felt relieved. I didn't just burn bridges, I incinerated the whole map. No social media rants, no loud declarations of cutting off a toxic family, just silence, the kind that doesn't need a response. That night, I put my phone away, not switching it off but effectively exiling it. The next morning, I grabbed a prepaid SIM card with a new number from a different state. No contacts, no backup, just freedom. I left every chat group, closed every account tied to them, and by lunchtime, I was completely off the grid. 3 days later, I was standing at a train station with a duffel bag and a hard drive. Emma was there too, holding a thermos of terrible gas station coffee. She didn't ask questions, she never did. We hopped on a train heading south to a town with no past, no echoes, and no whispers of "Oh, aren't you so-and-so's kid?" While I was unpacking, my lawyer, Yazik, was getting busy. This guy was calm and collected, like a sniper ready to make a move. Step 1, we launched a civil case against my sister and dad for some sketchy loan documents they forged in my name. We had all the evidence, screenshots, voice memos, metadata, you name it. Step 2, we built an impenetrable legal wall. Every bank, healthcare provider, tax office got a heads up that no family member would ever speak for me again. No more parental control over my life. Step 3, I started from scratch, new tax ID, new bank accounts, the whole works. Basically, my name meant nothing to them now. About a week later, Yazik sent me an email titled Attempted Contact. "Mother," it said, "we just want to make sure our son is okay. We're worried. Please let us know he's alive." Yazik shot back with a reply that was all business. "Your request does not have legal grounds. Client has requested full severance. Further communication will not be acknowledged." I didn't even crack a smile. Just turned off the screen. They tried getting in touch with Noah, who stayed silent, and wrote to Emma, who blocked them without hesitation. I had vanished, and they hated it more than any fight I could have picked. Then came the plot twist that made everything click. Yazik called one evening with a sharp, "We found something." Apparently, this wasn't the first time they'd forged stuff. 3 years ago, they'd filed for a $6,500 family insurance credit using my name. My dad's real signature was there, and so was my mom's. They'd been faking it long before I got wise. From then on, my messages to my lawyer were all business. I just typed, "Buy the apartment." Yes, cost. It turns out, the family home they claimed was partly owned by my grandma, who was in elder care. Her share was up for sale, and we snapped it up quietly. 2 weeks later, my parents got a notice. They had 30 days to pack up and leave. I never drove by to watch them go. Didn't need to. I'd erase the ground they stood on. Meanwhile, Emma and I set up a little creative studio in a coastal town, working in peace, just freelancing, coding, and sipping coffee. No drama, no distractions. When people asked what we did, I'd just say, solutions. Nobody knew about our past, and that's exactly how I liked it. Our door stayed anonymous, just a simple strip with no sign. So, there was this piece of etched glass that said, "We don't fix families," and honestly, that said it all. The big twist came 6 months later when my mom, who you'd never catch dead at a therapist before, actually went to see one. On the coffee table, there was this pile of books, and one caught her eye. It had a black and white cover and was called The Quiet Exit by A.R. Wyatt. When she picked it up and started flipping through, she froze. The names were changed, the setting was different, but she knew the voice, it was mine. Every chapter was like a scar I didn't have to carry around anymore, now locked in those pages forever. She closed the book slowly and whispered, "He told the truth," but no one was listening, which was kind of the whole point. Fast forward almost a year. The noise has died down, and everyone stopped pretending I was just taking a break. I've completely rebuilt my life, minus the toxic parts. They used to send messages through mutual contacts, now they don't even know those people. They'd call from hidden numbers, but I don't pick up random calls anymore. Silence isn't just quiet, it's power. My new start doesn't kick off with the dawn but with no one bothering me, no random knocks, or guilt-tripping notifications. No one asking for favors. Emma and I have this flat where the windows don't face the street. No one can see in unless we open the blinds, which is rare. There's no doorbell, just secure messages from clients. Even the name on the buzzer isn't mine, just a number that only 3 people know. Sometimes, I stand in the kitchen, soaking in the silence and remind myself, I built this from scratch, not for revenge, not for justice, just for my own peace. By month 2, I stopped waiting for apologies. By month 3, I stopped caring what they said. After 6 months, I didn't even remember their faces, let alone how their voices made me feel. Now, when I see someone caught up in family drama, I scroll past like it's an ad I'll never buy again because I've already paid in full, with years, with silence, with losing bits of myself. I'm done paying. At a strategy meeting, someone said, every brand has a backstory. I shot back, Mine's under NDA and I burned the only copy. They laughed, but I wasn't kidding. I'm not Alex anymore. Emma calls me Wyatt now, not because I asked her to, but because that's who I've become. Alex was just a placeholder. Wyatt is who I choose to be. Wyatt doesn't reply to "hey, it's been a while" messages or pick-up calls from the past. Wyatt only looks ahead, because the past has been burned. Then Leo came along, back in development, confident with clean code. He joined a partner team mid-project. We didn't chat much until one late-night call. He mentioned a city, and I kept my cool. "Yeah, my cousin still lives there, real piece of work," he said. "She always claimed her brother ruined her life, but from what I saw, she was the one causing havoc." He sipped his drink casually. Guy probably just reclaimed his life. I stared at the screen. Or maybe he just decided to take his life back. Leo nodded. If he did, good for him. After that call, I ran through the rain, no hood or umbrella, just skin, water, and breath. I wasn't running from anything, I was just enjoying the freedom of not being tracked, not having anyone waiting for me, not having anyone know where home is. And that's true freedom, not needing to be found. Emma once asked, "Do you think they'll try again?" I shook my head. They don't even know who I am now. And even if they did, it's too late. I didn't disappear to be missed, I disappeared to make sure they couldn't reach me, not even with guilt. People say family is forever, but they're wrong. Family is whoever respects your boundaries and backs off when you say, no. Mine didn't, so I left. And when I did, I didn't just close the door, I sealed it shut. Sometimes people ask, do you miss them? Nope. I miss the version of me that never had to deal with them, but that version didn't make it, I did. I'm not healing, forgiving, or watching the door. I'm building something new, and they'll never see it, touch it, or benefit from it. That's the real closure, not a goodbye, but a firewall that stands tall.